Hey and welcome to Neverwinter there again. So it's Thursday and we come with another patch to the game. And with it there's some very important news I'd like to tell you, and you could definitely take advantage of it. So the Staff of Flowers a while back when the module 20 dropped, we effectively had all of our Staffs of Flower artifacts bound to our character, so we weren't able to trade them between other characters or even go and sell them, where previously before the module went out they were unequipped, so you were able to sell them, you were able to save them up and transfer them to other characters as you pleased. So effectively this made a lot of people very annoyed. Well, I have good news. Finally they've come around and they've went and made them all unbound now. Well, as a result, they've actually made every Staff of Flowers artifact, even if you've upgraded it, to be unbound. But this shall only occur if you don't currently have it equipped when this patch gets pushed out. So before the maintenance today, I believe it's around 2 UTC, you need to make sure that you unequip that Staff of Flowers on your character, and you'll be able to go and trade it either to different characters or even sell it. This means we shall be seeing mythic Staff of Flowers on the auction house. This is going to be a first. But with that said, there are of course going to be other few changes that are going to occur with this patch, and I shall go through them later on in the video. First I want to jump over to the preview server here, where I have a character with a bound Staff of Flowers, and I can prove to you guys that yes, they will be unbound. You can see I have a mythic Staff of Flowers not bound to my account or character. So you can see I can very readily go and post it on the auction house. I need to confirm there and give it whatever price. And we now have a mythic artifact on the auction house. Now of course this is only the preview server right now. We're going to have to wait till this patch actually comes out. But be sure to make sure to unequip your Staff of Flowers off your character for this to become unbound. Otherwise they shall just remain bound, as they are assuming you just want to keep the artifact if you have it on your character. Now with that said, there were a few adjustments to the achievements. Many of you may have noticed that the achievements from within the Vault of Stars, some of them were uncompletable and we weren't able to go and obtain them. You can see there's a good few here which I definitely haven't obtained. I'm not really a person who bothers much with these achievements, so there's plenty of them I haven't actually obtained there. But for example, you should now be able to get Adventurers Together, Strong achievement. You should be able to get Elusive Prey, and you should also be able to get Power of Friendship and Wait Your Turn. Now along with that, in the Vault of Stars dungeon there were also a few fixes. For example, if players are defeated in the maze, it should be less likely that you're just teleported to the very beginning of the dungeon. This was highly annoying. And with that said, they've also made sure that now it says here Seals of the Wilds instead of Seals of the Fallen, as we can see right here in the preview server where the patch has already been pushed out. One thing I have found really annoying with the Vault of Stars as of late is those red areas. On many of the bosses, those like cone attacks will move when you move around them. So they'll basically follow you. You try to avoid them by moving out of the red area, and then it follows you and hits you. And this is very frustrating, and I really want Cryptic Heroes to be able to fix this. Now along with that, we've also had some changes to the Jungles of Chalt. There was a quest fixed there where you can now properly gain credit from instance areas. Whenever players level up, you should no longer receive mail that'll point you to content that no longer exists. And there's also some achievements within Sharandar Zone itself where you complete the Sharandar's layers. And many of these achievements were removed because they also can be no longer completed as they direct to the old Sharandar. Along with that, the Underdark campaign should now be very easily started without having to go and complete lots of starter quests. Now with regards to classes and balance, they went and changed with the Paladin Healer. This Bond of Virtue will now actually be affected by our Hand of Divinity, this one right here. So it should effectively be increased by 50%, the actual heal value, when you have this Bond of Virtue affected on them. Not exactly sure how this is going to affect overall, but it should just be the standard healing will be increased by 50%. It's pretty decent when you're in a hard, tough area where the tank takes a lot of heavy damage. For example, in Zariel when you're fighting those two angels. But other than that, the Mirage weapons, again, they've been adjusted. And as I've said before in a recent video, they were recently nerfed and now they've been buffed up again, and the main reason was because the bleeds for the rogue was doing insane damage, so they've buffed the Mirage weapons back up, but excluding the bleeds for the rogue. Along with that, the very first 3 lockboxes that you ever obtain when you're leveling up your characters, those shimmering lockboxes, they shall no longer direct you to be able to purchase a rank 3 bonding stone, as those have been removed from the game. Along with that, you should also be able to purchase more of these campaign buyouts, even if you already have the campaign complete. And the reason for this is that you'll be able to sell them on the auction house and trade them to other players. If you ever purchase the rat pup, let's say from the event of the Feast of Lanterns, it should now be claimable for free on all of your other companions. That is if you purchased it for Zen on the store here. And last but not least, they've changed up some of the hairstyle, naming, and that's it. So it should no longer display a development orientated name. So that's everything for these patch notes and this update. Nothing too special other than make sure to unequip those Staff of Flowers to give you the option to trade it between other players. You can of course always just keep it and bind it again on the character which you just unbounded on, but if you wish, like I'm probably going to do, is swap my Staff Flowers from one character into another, and it won't matter the rarity. Even if it's on mythic, it will still be unbound as long as you don't currently have it equipped. So be sure to put those Staffs of Flowers into your inventory just here, and that way they shall no longer be bound to your character or even account. So you'll be able to sell a mythic artifact on the auction house. So hopefully this was at least somewhat helpful and insightful to you guys. And if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.